Well, top of the morning to you, Leeds fans. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor today, and we're back. Still in Hamburg, still enjoying myself. I am back this evening, late this evening, so irritatingly, I will not be able to catch the mighty Whites up at Sulu. And yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a tricky affair for me because I genuinely cannot remember, I should say, the last time I missed a Leeds United game, and I'm not even kidding there. Whether it was on the TV, whether it was there, whether it was, just keeping updated with it, but I'm going to be out of the loop on the plane, which is awful. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to land and I'll find out the result. But there is bigger questions with the Whites, huge questions today, of which doesn't revolve around the game, really. It revolves around Gruev, and we covered it to an extent yesterday on the channel, but I sort of had my phone away. I was enjoying myself on my birthday. Turned up, had a look later on. Gruev out, meniscus. Same problem sort of Manor Solomon had. This is what we didn't want Solomon to have again, because you do not want knee injuries. I have had knee injuries my whole life, and they are minging. Horrible things to shake off. So A, do not rush this guy back. And B, do you have to find a replacement to not rush him back? Because we've seen that in footy before, we've seen that with Leeds before, where certain personnel, Pascal being the classic example, being rushed back, problem, reoccur, that injury. So, I think we've got to explore why this is a big problem now, systematically. Now, I'd say systematically it's a big issue because I know he's been playing a little bit further forward, but I do not subscribe to the notion that Gruev would be further forward, even if Ethan Ampadu was out. I don't subscribe to the theory that he'd be out he'd be the furthest player forward consistently for Leeds United double pivot. I just don't think it would happen. I think he'd fall back a little bit. I think Tanaka or Rothwell or whoever that balancing out act is in terms of like the attacking double pivot, I think that would happen in time. The biggest goal threat is obviously going to be Tanaka. It's obviously going to be Rothwell. We saw that against Norwich even. So I do personally think that we'd have seen that in time. Now the issue is the balance. Now the issue is, where do Leeds United go for that aspect? Because what do we see now? And what are we going to see now? Well, it's going to be, for me, Rothwell, Tanaka. Now, is that good enough? 100%. Is it the right profiles that we need in there across potentially another maybe 11, 12 games, dependent on other injuries? I don't think it is. I think, and once again, it's so tight in there now. Even if one of those picks up a niggle or you want to rotate, you can't do it. You can't do it. And the other option is Charlie Crew. Now, we know he's a wonderful passer of the ball for his age. They've been talking about Crew for ages in terms of that next player coming up through the ranks. But he's not really known for being a defensively combative player, industrious in terms of that respect, really. He's not known for that. He's known for a bit of a luxury glider. He can move with the ball, but he's also an excellent passer, but he's not known for that other side of his game. And now we have two other midfielders who really, when you look at it, aren't really known for the other side of the game as well. So what do? I've constantly flirted on this channel with a 4-3-3. Why? Because I think a 4-3-3 does offer you protection. I think if you've got two CDMs and then a CM, that's going to offer you a little bit of protection to your defence. It reaffirms that defensive position that you want as a unit, even if you were to do a sort of 4-3-3 as well, of which you were just to put two central midfielders and a defensive midfielder in there. If you to switch up that three and just change it a little bit, vary it a little bit, you've still got that protection with another midfield body in there. That would obviously mean that someone like Brendan Aronson would come out in a 4-3-3. So look, there's options for him there. Crew is there, but there's players on the market. We're talking, Leeds have been apparently rumoured with Edouard Michou for probably around 18 months now, obviously formerly of Sunderland. He is now a free agent. Now we have three loan spots also available, but that means we have to wait until January, of which none of us want to do. And can we afford to do it? So do Leeds dip into the transfer market? Daniel Farke apparently had a very, very, very good relationship with Christoph Kramer at Borussia Mönchengladbach. He is now a free agent, but we can talk about free agent upon free agent upon free agent upon free agent. Is it realistic that Leeds do it? And I don't know, it's almost, it feels forced, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like it's part of the plan. And I'm a little bit of a control freak in myself, and when it's not part of the plan, and I get a vibe that Daniel Farke is a bit of a control freak, when it isn't part of the plan and it sort of circles around spontaneity, he doesn't enjoy it either, of which you can't, you know, do you mould with what you've got? And obviously Farke now has this obviously excuse because, you know, he's not got two of the midfielders who he started the season with in the double pivot. There's an argument Tanaka wouldn't have even started. Or there'd have had to be a break, of which maybe a slight Gruev injury where Tanaka comes in and impresses, which he could be doing now, but I don't think anybody expected it to be this long and this to be the problem. You know, when you look back at the injury and you look back at meniscus issues, it's not good. It really, really isn't good. So hopefully it's just minor. Hopefully, you know, with proper physio at the elite level, you can be fit and firing with a meniscus injury, you know, 4 to 6 weeks really. But we've got a player literally who is on our books in Manor Solomon, who's been out 3 separate times with varying degrees of meniscus injuries, the latter of which had him out for nigh on 8 months, which obviously was a little bit more intense for him. So yeah, I'm not saying that's going to be the case with Gruev, but the whole point here is don't rush him. Do not rush him back. And this is why maybe we need to be looking at something else in terms of that midfield. And I've got a feeling that these two will be all right tonight in terms of Tanaka and Rothwell. I think it'll be okay. I think it's more long term. It's more maybe when they need a little bit of a rest. It's more, will we sort of utilise Charlie Crew in there? Are there certain games of which he can come in? There's no easy game in the Championship, but there are easier games, if we're being brutally honest. So, lots of conversations to be had, guys. There's multiple topics of which I want to talk about. Systematically, how Leeds are going to work with this now, but not just systematically, it's personnel. You know, can Crew come in and be that third body now? You know, he's gone from being sort of 5th, 6th body to now the third body, without making his full professional debut for Leeds United. So there's a lot of conversations to be had. What would you guys do? Genuinely, I'm fascinated to know. Would you be dipping into the free market? Would you be waiting until January where Leeds have 3 loan spaces? Or would you just think, look, we'll stick with what we've got now. Don't panic, stick to the plan, move Crew up there. Let's see what happens with Gruev. But there are options out there, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.